Hurley become
But if he
mincemeat.
takes it, he does flash over the wall.
Dash through him, flash over, flash out. He's running, but that's a red buff.
The red.
Extra Q. Whoa! First blood going through. Don't know if he needed to burn the flash, but
This Cap's in danger.
Cap's eventually over eager here. Unstoppable going to take Labrov out.
flash.
Fish for the 1v1. Unstoppable now going to go back in. Yike on the way forward. They're just going to grab a quick support kill. They're not going to finish off.
I hate that. The fact that Caps is way overextended. He's like, Labrov, get over here.
I want to chase actually.
Yeah, I'm still surrounded.
Okay, I don't. Go, play. He's dead, he's dead.
Flash Varus.
Nice. Nice, huge.
Nice. Can we Nash?
Welcome back to the LEC. I have found myself a G2 fan and a BDS fan in disguise. He swore that he is a BDS fan. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the draft from game 2. If you guys don't know, spoiler alert, G2 is 2-0 in the series currently. And I'm gonna show you the draft. I want you to tell me which pick from G2 you would like to see in game 3 be repeated and why.
Yeah, I would love to see Lilia again because it seems really broken.
Okay, that's a pretty good enough reasoning. Yike seems pretty strong on it as well. And for BDS, which pick would you like to see and why?
I would like to see Gnar again. Adam is actually popping off with the Gnar ults and always has good flanks, but it's not always working out the correct way, but he's pretty good on...
Do you think that Adam's Gnar can bring a win to BDS?
Yes, I truly believe that Gnar can be a winning point. They just have to change the playstyle and a bit of the rest of the comp.
Well, thank you very much for your analysis, gentlemen. I appreciate that. We're going to throw it over to the teleserver with Guldborg and Yamato to break down that Herald fight.
Thank you very much, Trouble. That's right. I'm standing by with YamatoCannon, where we're going to be doing some little tandem action on the telestrator here. Now, Yamato.
Tandem action.
Yeah. You explain, I draw. That's kind of tandem, isn't it?
All right, let's do it together,
dive right
baby.
into it. So basically, we had this Herald fight that you wanted to break down, YamatoCannon, and you were quite often talking about the positioning. What is it that's so important right now about this Herald?
If you just pause this frame right here, right? The key thing is always in terms of how G2 manage things. They manage to push top all the way, which forces Nuke to then, of course, catch the wave under the turret. If then BDS want to reposition, he needs to take all the way around. Sheo is trying to bridge him, but G2 are pulling the Herald towards the side where they have prio. They have, of course, the TPs ready, and the moment this plays out, you kind of see how G2 read this information. The fight kind of starts out, they're starting slowly, and then the TP on the flank, and you see right away here, Nuke is out of position, they begin to kite in, and they recognize that they just have the better position. And then they, of course, force the fight, because Nuke is trying to, of course, join the fight, and the only reason this is remotely close on the follow-up is because Adam manages to find a pretty sneaky and beautiful angle.
From a coaching perspective, Yamato, this re-engage, is it worth it?
I think in terms of like searching for Rihanna, I think here it was a little bit too much, you could argue. You see the Kalista ult is kind of overblown. This is just G2 trying to punish further. Gnar, of course, with the flash in and the ultimate, of course, breaks the whole situation here, and they managed to pick up some kills. But the crucial detail is just how they manage side. They managed to create the better position around Rift Herald, and Rift Herald is so important in terms of how just the map is shaped altogether.
Yeah, and I also feel like what comes out of this fight, not just the Rift Herald itself, but the amount of kills that Yike is able to pick up on this Lilia completely hyper scales him into the mid game, and we know what kind of menace he became as well. But also at the same time, as you talk about the impact of this Rift Herald as well, if you take a look at the still image right here, the mid lane has been dropped, and you are very passionate about this. Why is it dropping this mid turret immediately with Rift Herald is so important?
So against Varus specifically, right, is a champion that can wave clear very easily, wants to stand on the mid wave and wants to poke. It's very easy for blue side to find access towards Nashor because of the entry point that the mid turret creates. You have the mirrored version of it on of course red side. They can create the same situation towards Drake, right? If you lose your mid turret, your entry into Drake becomes a lot harder. The moment BDS lose this mid turret, G2 can then posture forward, push the enemy all the way in, and they can use this path towards Nashor for their own benefit. Later down in the game, Caps has been absolutely phenomenal in terms of how he pressures. He manages to, of course, control side, and then he just finds, of course, the undercutting of the Varus that is on the mid wave, and they just find the winning situation. G2, the way they manage side and how they manage the map position, is winning them all of these situations surrounding the objectives, of course.
Fantastic, Yamato. For first tandem, I'm going to give us a 7 out of 10. We got room for improvement, but your analysis was perfect. So
maybe
because of that, I'm going to send you over to the analyst desk to join the rest of the post-match. Lord, take it away.
No, GB.
No, GB.
Oh, wait,
no,
it's
Rob.
us. Not take it
It's
away.
us.
That's right. Me and Rob.
Let's go.
Identical twins. Vedi, not included.
They didn't give me suspenders.
I'm going to be honest, man. I think you could have pushed for it. We could have all matched. You could have brought in the
That's
synergy.
like saying I could have pushed for brunch. We both know that's not realistic.
That's
okay?
true. That's Guldborg in the corner. Oh, that's just on my screen. Sorry. I just see Guldborg's head. Excuse me.
That is kind
There's
of
a
hilarious.
tiny Guldborg head in my corner. I'm not hallucinating.
In any case, welcome
Food
back.
poisoning got
We're
you.
getting ready
Fever
for
dreams
game
are coming back.
for G2 versus BDS. It's been a one-sided series so far. BDS feel like that they have been figured out by G2, and they need to show us something different, right? Like 2 games in a row. What has their first rotation been? Orianna, Varus. And are they going to continue with that strategy? Is that going to be their same approach? They've chosen to go back onto the red side. Let's see what they've cooked for us in game 3.
Could it be a Kalista first pick? Is that what we're going to see? Oh my.
But the thing is,
Oh, Poppy ban this time around. So remember
Okay.
we were talking about this, right? Some of the issues that the Kalista had by prioritizing the Kalista.
But
and
now
going
the
for Twisted
TF is
Fate.
banned, right? And Team BDS are in this position where one of the obnoxious side laners is going to show up on the side of G2. With the Kalista now picked up, G2 can rinse and repeat everything they have done so far this series. Both those games may have looked different at your home, but functionally, strategically, they were nearly identical.
Yep.
BDS trying a very similar style, G2 shutting them
they're
down in a
running it
very
back.
similar way. And
is it
this portion
Orianna?
of the draft, I do think doesn't really need to change.
I'm curious if they just take these here. They just go, look, screw it. The Orianna hasn't been working. Let's go for something. Because I think Nuke has looked exceptional in the Azir. I
It
think
would
has
give
been
you
his best
more
champion.
side lane options.
I was going to say, yeah, some more side lane options, but also like the ability to try and go for a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh, that's a curveball.
Wow.
Tristana mid maybe, alongside the brand. Maybe they even go for the Cassante mid themselves. Very curious as to where this goes. How will G2 respond this time round? Naturally, when they were on blue side game 1, Drakos already highlighted it earlier. It was the TF. Ivern. We're getting Ivern Hwei. Okay.
Ivern Hwei.
Okay. G2 have come with completely different drafts in every single
G2 are
game.
praying. They're like, please pick something different so we can pick something.
The only consistency has been this Kalista, which Hansam has been more than happy to get his hands on in every single game. But Caps is, I mean, credit to him. Like, obviously, Yike, stellar performance in game 2. But Caps overall is just having a great series, and now we're going to get to see him play on the Hwei again. For those that didn't get to see him in the regular season, an absolute monster on the champion.
And I do like the Hwei in this position because it's like traditionally when you see a lot of threat towards Hwei, like say a Maokai or a Vi or something that can actually get onto him in the laning phase, that's where he's really struggled, especially if you're going to have like an Azir who can go for that sweep underneath you as well. But you don't really have a lot of threat here when it's just going to be the Azir and the brand. But it feels very weird to me to go, oh, we want Ivern who's going to go for like Ardent Sensor and a bunch of other stuff like that can help like on-hit champions, and you don't take the Azir for yourself. That just seems odd to me.
What I find interesting is that these lock-ins suggest that G2 are going for the teamfight approach.
Yeah.
Game 1, we saw heavy side lane priority. Game 2, we saw more of a 4-1, but they still played 1-3-1 pretty extensively with the Cassante and the Yasuo. This time around, you're not going to be sending that Hwei off to a side lane. He's primarily going to be grouping with your team. And when you have an Ivern, that is very much about team fighting. It's about that scaling utility option and playing around your carry. So G2 is saying, you know what, we've beaten you on the side lane, we beat you in the mid-game macro, now we're looking to beat you in the 5v5.
I think it's true, and you can see that G2 tried to support it. They ban away the Darius, which has been the only successful conventional counterpick to Zac. BDS recognized that, immediately banned the Zac. Now the Olaf is coming out as well. They're limiting a lot of these strong picks for the side of Adam. BDS forced to blind pick something. They do offer support. Nautilus, the cream of the crop for blind pick supports in the meta right now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You're kind of caught here, but I can kind of recognize that BDS have push in mid, right? Azir managed to get the push against Hwei. If you can get that push in bot lane with a strong matchup in that bottom side, you should be able to then look to feed into, hey, let's go and invade an Ivern. Ivern hates when champions are able to invade off him, and at the moment you got a lot of that bot side control. So I'm curious to see how you round this out. Like, do you just go for Leona to say, hey, we want to take the aggressive side of the matchup and then say, or you can go for this as well, just have a range on melee matchup so you get the push in bot side
I
and try and
personally
diminish
love
those.
to see a Leona. I think that she's a very underutilized champion. I think she's She has definitely her place within the meta.
Okay, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's totally boring.
I mean,
you see the Varus and the Brand, they stand there, slow as hell. They get ulted.
Let's go,
Leona. No! You're right, but I hate that you're right.
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of teams just think that she's not that strong, right? Like, she is traditionally very one-dimensional, right? She goes in, she CCs, and then she just kind of stands there, right? Once her CC
Nautilus
has been
can
landed.
hook out. Leona can't E out. Doesn't do anything.
But it was Mark. I believe it was Mark, right? A big enthusiast of the Leona over in the LPL last year that I think demonstrated to the world how effective this champion can be. And it's cool to see it coming out from G2 as an answer into this Nautilus as well. How had... we actually see the Jax from Adam as a round out. So definitely going for a multi-threat composition. I would say that as far as a BDS draft goes, this is definitely unconventional. Just simply for the fact that they don't have Sheo on an engaged champion. Not a Vi, not a Xin Zhao, not a Poppy. He's on a Brand. He's on a carry jungler.
And this is something we don't see very often from Sheo. While he is a guy who's known in solo queue for his Graves and these obviously very strong solo queue picks, BDS are very often super reliant on Sheo, his creative early pathing, his ganks to set up whatever lane they want to focus on. So now we'll have to see what they can do with the Brand. The good news is Jax has set up on top side. You've got Nautilus Varus to set up bot side. Azir has the shuffle as well. So BDS laners have brought their own tools to make sure that Brand can get something done.
I think he does need to play towards his top side though, because Adam will get control in the top lane with the push. Same when it looks at the mid lane for Nuke, and then you can look for invades off that 3-man. The bot side, because you end up taking Leona, the matchup with Leona and Nautilus essentially works where you need to play defensive as a Nautilus. Every time Leona Xenoblades in, you hook her and you immediately walk away. And traditionally, that's why we actually see a double Glacial Augment set up in these matchups, because it means that then slow on both sides, you're able to walk away, and Leona can't get the range to Q you and slow you down, and Leona's just tankier thanks for a W. This, though, whereas we actually start to get into the game, is where we see it's going to be Aftershock for Labrov. So there is an opportunity with Mikyx to Xenoblade in, Q, and get the auto attack onto Labrov. So maybe there's a moment here for Yike to try and punish the summoner spells of Labrov in that bottom lane. Or sorry, the rune choice of Labrov in that bottom lane.
See if they're able to do that. The rare matchup where early attack speed really matters for those supports, whether it's Nautilus passive or Leona Q can come through.
And it's a thriller.
I was gonna sing it. I was worried about the.
But Vedius the singer, actually. I got
guys, we have to do it. We can follow.
I don't know the moves.
You don't. What? You have to loosely know the moves.
I know
you
loosely.
Can't.
Okay, I loosely know the moves.
Because again, we have to follow.
Okay, bro. Okay.
I mean, this is why he doesn't get suspenders.
This is why he doesn't. Yeah, you were so close. Hats were next.
Oh, Jax is fishing. He's got 2 gold.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. The brand cam is important. How much money?
Can we get a zoom in, observers?
We get a little tasty taste.
Oh, he's found another gold.
Can he find the golden one, though? That's like 10 gold or something, isn't
it? What do you think his hourly wages doing this?
I mean, what? It takes him, what, a couple seconds to get...
I like that your brain is so stunned by capitalism that you're just like, he doesn't clearly work for himself.
What are you talking about? That's gold. Surely that's great.
He can just be self-employed. He can work for himself.
Yeah,
He doesn't need a wage.
Maybe he's just doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, like...
We're allowed to have hobbies. Oh, okay, all right. Well, fair enough. So, slight gold lead on the top side. You can see 3 in the favor of Adam, courtesy of those fish. Gave their lives for that tiny lead.
All right,
and
so
we're waiting for Sound. Sound will eventually join us back. Oh, I
can hear it for the crowd.
The crowd can hear it. It's just us. All right.
Okay.
Nuke taking a bit of a chunk of early damage. And yeah, all is quiet on the Rift thus far, keeping our eyes on the early jungle pathing. Brand, unsurprisingly, taking an early lead because Ivern needs a bit of time to get those camps.
As a reminder, this is the upper bracket final.
Semi-final.
Where the winner will move on to the Winter Split final. Yeah. BDS, if they lose here, they will move down into the lower bracket. That doesn't mean it's the end of their road. They will have an opportunity to play... Well, they can wait, actually, because there are still best of 3s to be played tomorrow, and the winner of those best of 3s will then go on and play against
each other, and then the winner of that will face...
And that all leads into our Winter Split final weekend, which will take place next weekend.
And reminder, early's lock to a spot in MSI, so hugely crucial. Again, winning this is going to give you so much luxury heading into that final weekend. Right now, G2 pretty favored.
Level 2 roam into mids. Great damage being put down by Caps. Are they going to make something happen here? Labrov is suspicious. Mikyx is missing. And it's like he's got to be somewhere.
I mean, Nuke's only level 3, though. What's your recourse? What's your action here if they don't go for the full dive? Flash over. E does manage to lock him up. Severing Bolt from downtown. The Ignite taking the comment. First blood, a Twitch emote to seal the deal. And now Mikyx needs to get the hell out. Blast cone to safety. Tower still hitting him.
The shield, was it enough?
Bit of shielding from Hwei was enough. In goes Sheo, gets another kill back. Root coming in. Caps following up with a little bit of a combo. Yike gonna land the root as well. Sheo gonna have to be careful.
So they crash the wave level 2 on bot side, and Hansama and Mikyx start to move. So it looks like, again, you're going to set up for like Yike maybe to go for an invade, see if you can steal away a camp, like he has smite up, but instead, Mikyx just moves mid. And the reason Labrov backed off there was because Hansama showed on bot wave again. So like, oh, they just got vision. They're coming back to lane, and that's where they were able to get the kill. But nice turnaround there for Sheo to be able to get a kill for himself, but that's still a bit of an advantage now for Caps in that mid lane.
Definitely is. Pushback comes in from Broken Blade. Adam, is he going to commit any further? Yike waiting in the darkness for the Q3 to connect before he tries to fish for the root collar. Hope, just waiting, begging Adam, please go all in. You can see him step forward there as Adam leaf strikes a minion, assumed it would go onto Broken Blade. Pullback is good, Adam getting lower and lower, but Sheo in the area. Both top laners, I think, acting a little bit to try to set up for a good play from their junglers.
It's a game of chicken. Both of them will choose to not play today. For now, Adam's just going to be pushed under his tower. Reset going to come through from Broken Blade. Yike fishing, looking for a potential steal on the respawn of the Raptors. A lot of experience, but here's Sheo just at the right time. Can Caps assist? Oh, nice play
dash in from Nuke to try and punish here. Caps getting the passive proc off, but
really nice trade from Nuke.
I like this. You have to get aggressive here to
stop the play. Of course, in the extended trade, Azir is always going to come out on top, right? Hwei can be very obnoxious in terms of just poking at you. He has a lot of options for hitting you from a very long range, or from his Q, both the flame, the bolt, and the slow from his E.
Caps walking up there. QW for a bit of extra shielding.
I like this trading from Nuke a lot. Mikyx on the roam once again, but Sheo spots him out. Mikyx's going anyway. I think primarily just to assist with the push out of the wave, but Nuke should be able to hold this one just fine.
So with the reset coming through from Hansama though, BDS just feeling comfortable to start up this objective. They know that Caps is too low in the mid lane, so they can't really contest on this. And as long as Mikyx didn't get the value in mid, he's going to be fine. Even Labrov, you can see again hovering mid to make sure that there's going to be no counterplay, but Yike.
Yike ready to try and steal here. Sheo taking his time though, backs up, we'll make sure he can lock that one down. Caps has to be careful, level 6 Spyling is fair available, but a similar story for Nuke.
They really want to make sure that they're able to get that crash, so Caps could maybe look for the reset. Has already burnt his TP, so it doesn't really have that opportunity. And if you're Nuke, you've got the health bar to just go, hey, I'm going to go in for the sliding glide, see if you can catch Caps as Sheo's coming in towards lane as well. So Caps, you can see immediately goes into river, see if he can fish for some of the berries that are there, but unfortunately not for him.
Look at Adam. Proxying waves, basing in the enemy jungle right now. Also gained a bit of information, dropping that ward deep onto G2's side of the map. Adam playing this matchup, well, about as well as he can right now. It's a very neutral early laning phase between the two. You imagine that as the game goes on, Jax should have the scaling advantage, but Kasante's just one of the champions that's a great nullifier in a side lane, so even if you do have a lot of damage, I'm sure Broken Blade won't be too threatened, but we talked about it. BDS have so much damage on their roster. Very excited to see how they can navigate that and execute these fights as we enter the mid to lane.
But I think that's why when you're looking at this for BDS, you don't play for BB, you play for Sheo, where you play. Adam has the Tiamat push. Nuke has already shown that he can get push here in the mid lane against Caps. Okay, cool. Rotate that for Void Grubs if you want to. Rotate that for invading and contesting topside respawns of Yike's camps and just try to get Sheo ahead in that regard. At the moment, he's still only level 5, is slightly behind Yike. But Adam will need to be careful here as well.
Hwei going in. He hits the Q3 here. It's an easy fall. Pull back. Yike now in the area. Daisy has now been called out. Counter-Strike can connect on 2. Leaping back to Yike. Flashing out is Adam. Ulting for safety. But it's too little. Not getting the resistances nearly fast enough.
Adam, there was very little that he could do there. Broken Blade locks him down long enough. And Yike, he did try to predict Adam flashing away with the Q. Doesn't end up connecting it, but that doesn't matter. They have more than enough damage. And now Broken Blade with an advantage in this top lane matchup. One that can very easily swing in either way. Now that Kasante has that early lead, going to be that much harder to kill in any potential side lane skirmish.
Mikyx harassing Labrov
He's
here
gonna have to flash
a little bit. Yeah, probably has to flash out to safety. Leaves over the wall, waits as long as possible. Meanwhile, on the top side, Yike is, of course, using Daisy to knock down the grubs there. The 3 over to the side of G2 as Mikyx is just barely able to make it safely back into lane. Hook connects, never mind, not safe at all. Pull back from Hansama will finally be forced out there.
choose not to re-engage. Mikyx did have the ignite, but they said, you know what, not worth it.
It's a big lead for BDS in the spot side, though. They can crash this wave and keep your eyes on Sheo. I mean, red buff's up, you've got the push in mid, and this is kind of what I was talking about. I think you play for these invades, and Yike.
Nuke getting aggressive, just sending him over. Yike flashing out. Good damage follow-up from Sheo, but they just don't quite layer it perfectly to stop Yike from flashing out.
Still get the flash from Yike, though, and they control all of this bot side jungle. I think BDS can be very happy with what they're getting off the back of this. Labrov going to be spotted. Mikyx, it's a bold play to make. You should expect Sheo on the bot side of the jungle.
Yike marking up the red buff, could try to move in. Flash out to safety from Labrov, feeling like he overcommitted there. Hansama obviously can't just pull the spears out, so forced to retreat here. BDS on the edge of making something more happen, but just can't quite get it done.
Yeah, Mikyx trying to get the reset off, but BDS still hovering around, trying to make sure they can get this wave crashed in. They know that Yike is somewhere on this bottom side, but at the end of the day, BDS is still coming out on top, right? Mikyx had to burn summoner spells in that one. You end up going for the invade, where you get the red buff and you get the Raptors, you get Yike's flash. So when it looks towards like Dragon in a minute and a half, suddenly a lot of these champions on G2 side are significantly more vulnerable. A little bit unfortunate as well, because I'm not sure if Sheo, the combo for getting the like Q into E on the brand to get the stun on Yike really went off, but yeah, I still think BDS, again, solid early game for them. It's just about trying to capitalize on it, but as you can see from the gold lead, it's still heavily in favor of G2 thanks to that lead that's growing in the top side.
Yeah, and I will say, this season of this matchup, Jax versus K'Sante looks very different than last season. Divine Sunder was an incredible item for laning against K'Sante. You no longer have that. The balance out is you do have early access to Tiamat, much better wave clear, but trading against K'Sante this year is no longer free like it used to be.
I mean, every time we look at top lane, it's just Broken Blade winning out on another trade. Yep. Oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
He's going to take a tower shot, tick over to level 9 as well. But G2, I mean, the gold lead isn't that dramatic for the time being. BDS looking for something bot.
Good up from Labrov, Sheo in the area. Hansama does not, or does have ulti. Is he going to be forced to use it out here? Sorry, looks like he does not. Indicator potentially incorrect there.
Yeah, the timer was just slightly off. Hansama's ultimate just comes up about now.
I still has his ultimate though, which is why Hansama is legging it as fast as his legs will carry him away from this bot lane tower. But it means that you seed plates on bot, and you'll see Dragon control as well. So BB trying to see what he can do against Adam.
Push back, pulling Adam away. Adam going to be in trouble now. Ultis and Counter-Strike tries to get a bit more space, but BB still unstoppable, taking his time. Adam, not in the fancy footwork in the world. Broken Blade with a quick solo kill topside, but BDS already set up on this objective. Yike laying down brushes for a little bit more vision control. Caps can throw down a bit of poke. Daisy, body blocking, trying to make a little bit more space. This time around, Hansama does have ultimate immediately. The follow-up is there. Severing bolt from the sky. Caps making it rain fire. G2 finding gold just about everywhere. Top side of the map, BB knocking down plates left and right. Nuke finally going to get the pushback. The pullback is there from the Maw. And another kill to the side of G2.
And here's the downside of having this brand jungle is that BDS can't really turn. They don't have a real tank. And oh my god!
Spiraling despair. The damage just not quite enough. Caps. Sidestep on the ult.
Yeah, Labrov needed to be the one in the front line there, but it was Ice who ended up tanking all of that engage from G2, and as soon as Ice goes down, there's not a huge amount left of the tank for BDS.
Crucially, those level 6 just hadn't come through for these supports just yet. Labrov immediately on the retreat, and just look at Ice here. Gets hit once, gets hit twice, knock up 3 times, and then the follow-up engage from Mikyx. Daisy being the initiator here for G2, with which they capitalize very well.
Plays on multiple fronts, fighting the bottom side. We're going to have to hold that thought. Easy, quick kill pickup from the midst of BDS, as Nuke's going to be forced off mid lane.
A nice punish in the bot side of the map, getting a kill and a shutdown onto Hansama. Definitely what they need. Maybe they can funnel some plates back into Ice, get him a little bit more gold. In the mid lane, they weren't able to find a kill, and Mikyx obviously not there to support his bot laner. What are they cooking up now? I see Sheo and Nuke making their way into the bot side of the jungle, but it seems that that's the extent of it. They're just looking to get a bit of deep vision, keep track of what Yike is up to, and then back away from that.
Yeah, you're just going to see the reset bit greedy from Hansama, and Labrov had hit level 6 off that wave that just crashed underneath the tower, so great follow-up from the BDS bot lane to try and secure that, and now as we get back in towards the live, you can already see BDS using that advantage from the push they had, thanks to that, to invade and get a ton of vision on the spot side. I thought they might go for void groups to try and answer for the 3 that had already been picked up by G2, but with no control for Adam in this top side right now, he's gone again.
Oh, no. Tippy's pulling him out for another 1v1. Adam immediately ulting, taking his time, looking to set up a counter-strike, leaping for now. Flash already burned, Broken Blade on a killing spree.
This is just A single gank was all it took, and now Broken Blade is completely decimating Adam in the 1v1.
Yeah, it's not getting better.
BDS are trying to make a play happen bot. The TP comes through.
I mean, they need to. BB's already getting a tower. He can knock that down. He can TP bot if he wants to, but the kickoff of the fight from Mikyx is good. Interrupting on the ult is Ice off on the side, taking Hansam out for a brief moment, but Labrov already down. Now the chase onto Nuke. Daisy moving in. Severing Bolt, getting a little bit of damage. Not going to provide any slow, however.
Mickey tried to go for that. An ambitious play from him.
Nuke rooted up immediately. The team goes in. Knocker from Daisy is there. Hansama ready to re-engage. Spiraling Despair onto Ice. Not a lot of damage. A good slow. A good Severing Bolt to follow.
I love how aggressive Mickey and Hansam are willing to play around this ultimate. They just go, yeah, I can send myself in because I know I've got an immediate jump back out. But Labrov missing that hook on the wall ends up costing him so dearly, and BDS in tow as well.
I was just laughing at the damage that Caps was doing because, like, just he wasn't even on their screen. He took half their HP off. We'll look back at the dive. A few errors that we ended up seeing here. Labrov tries to chain the CC with the hook connecting. The hook doesn't land. Mickey misses his E, so he has to flash in. Then the CC does connect. The fear coming out from Caps to allow Hansam to secure that initial kill. Then as we get closer to the tower, Nuke is a little bit cautious, is able to create space. Mickey tries to re-engage in, but then this route is going to come through that allows the rest of G2 to collapse and secure themselves another kill. And then just look at the damage here. Ice is full HP, and then the Severing Bolt, and then the passive takes him down to half.
Seems fair.
Yeah, again, from a screen away. Not pretty strong. Nuke, pushback is there, dash out to safety. And I'll say, rare misstep from Nuke. You can't just stand on top of Daisy. That's just not, that's not going to end well for you, Labrov.
Whoa, Labrov?
MacGyver can escape onto that one. Now he's going to queue back in. Maybe he's MacGyver to fight. Sheo coming over the wall. Good start to the fight. Counter-strike now connecting onto Mickey. Mickey running, ticking down, burning. Broken Blade off to the side. Just going to take Sheo over the wall if he needs to, but instead could just turn his sights onto Adam. What's the angle here? W forward, Q3 to bring the brand back. Daisy, Cassante just bullying this brand. Basketball tag.
Is Broken Blade done yet, though?
No, I don't think he is.
You think a towel will stop him,
No.
Ice?
Okay, Chains of Corruption at least does.
Okay,
So he does have some way of stopping him. Adam, though, doesn't have any way to stop them because he's now all alone and the wave is on its way and I don't
Daisy's
know
coming.
how they're going to help him.
Broken Blade now following up. Adam, where is he going to go? How can he possibly escape? Another Severing Bolt. Caps just making it happen. Spiraling Despair on Adam. They get a brief moment. The passive finally pops, and it's more than enough to finish the job. Caps with the follow-up as well. It's a double kill for the Hwei. And Hansama's taking a mid-lane tower. Game 1 close. Game 2 close for a little while. Game 3 an absolute slaughter.
And I thought this was going to be a team fighting comp from G2, but they're just cutting down BDS where they stand. And Caps will get a little taste of his own. Oh wait, does he have the shield?
Oh,
no.
He missed the fear. The timing was slightly off. Nuke does come in and finish that one off. The shield almost enough from Caps. I believe Yike was in the area as well, ready to offer that assistance. But wow, what an early game from G2. BDS, they tried to make some stuff happen. We saw them looking for players on the bot side of the map. But these fights have not gone in their favor. And the real problem that they have is that even if they bring Adam down, the second the Broken Blade matches, they can't do anything. It's so difficult to deal with this guy. Like, maybe Azir can later on into the game, but with his 2 fully completed items already, you're just not going to be able to shut him down.
And I do appreciate BDS going for something a little bit different in this game with like Sheo going in for something that's a bit more carry oriented.
Oh, they're going to try 5 people.
Broken Blade.
Is it enough?
No.
Stunned.
Ult.
Endless CC, unstoppable, redemption, shield coming in, Mickey with the locket, he's living! He refuses to go down. Now all of BDS following up though, they can take down Mickey, maybe they can get a little more, keep the fight going, but Yike buying more time, spreading the team out, a single pick to the side of BDS.
Mickey loses his life to protect the KDA of Broken Blade. Great utility being offered there from Yike
it's
as
the
well.
Heart steal of Broken Blade. Get your bands.
True, that's true. That was a good one. The rest of G2 tried to push in through mid, push in through top. The good news for BDS is there's no real objective for G2 to trade in the cross map, which means that they're only going to lose a little bit of farm. And BDS, they're able to get a kill.
But the only reason they didn't all die for going on Broken Blade is that Caps and Hansama weren't there.
That's true.
Because the problem is, this is the blueprint for success for every single G2 Hwei game is, yes, Caps is Caps, and that's an important part of any equation, but it's just, if you have a front line with a bunch of CC that the enemy cannot immediately kill, that person's job just makes it all of the Hwei's QWs just
You
land
know it's
effortlessly.
rough when your Azir is going Void Staff second. It's
Yeah, I would say that...
Okay, but BDS is in a good position to contest this. Kasante's still in the bot lane, no TP available. They need to try and make something happen here, knowing that they have the numbers advantage, unlocking the top lane tower. Again, a very classic G2. They've got two people pushing mid and bot. Hansama is the one that they've sent off early. They're conceding the Herald for now. Will G2 still try to fight this?
Yes. They definitely
I think they're going to go mid.
I think they're not going to. I think they're actually just going to control BDS, keep them in the river, and exchange this for 2 towers. The TP response in the bot lane to try and keep that bot tier 2 alive, I like from BDS.
Response coming in from Adam to make sure the tier 2 can't go down too easily. They're just looking to pick off Labrov. Locked up, does manage to get the hook out to safety for at least a minute. Good follow-up there. Flash out. Labrov is living. Broken Blade trying to get something done. Push back. He's looking for another potential 1v1. He doesn't quite get him over the wall, and Ice is coming in. Should be a quick, easy arrow fall, but right now Broken Blade is running. Meanwhile, Sheo getting taken down. Broken Blade sprinting. The Ghost. Is it enough? He's running for his life, and he will manage to make it a safety. Caps fishing for the Severing Bolt on the bottom
Wait,
side.
is a nuke just dead now?
Yeah.
Yes. Severing Bolt. You can choose who you die to. Basketball, Ivern. No, it's still Caps. It's the illusion of choice. Hwei Severing Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, nice job though from G2, right? Yes, they don't take the fight at the objective, but they're just able to go, right, we'll push mid, we can catch you as you start to try and rotate back. And managing to pick off several members, and again, it's just full control here for G2, where it feels so difficult to try and fight against G2 at any point in time, because you're losing sideline push, you're losing when it comes to 3v3 mid, when you're pushing on towards like Nuke and Caps now, Caps starting to get that advantage as well. It's like, where do you try and put your pressure?
I mean, credit to Nuke, he does have a 1.1k gold lead. A lot of that has been off the back of him just farming very well this game, but Caps has 5 kills still. He's still at 2 completed items. Nuke is going to do what he can to try and be this late game threat, but it feels that G2 just have so much of an advantage at this point in the game. It feels difficult for BDS to find ways back into it, especially when Adam just can't hold Broken Blade in the side lane. It feels like Nuke has to constantly match him, which for now he can do, but they're on opposite sides of the map for the time being. Broken Blade going to continue pushing in that bot wave. He has the TP available. And now they're sending Hansama once again, controlling this mid wave, keeping the push up. And they're setting up control around the Baron.
Trio of Yike, Mickey, and Hansama doing what they can to control mid, make sure that they have everything they need to take the Baron. And BDS overstep, or if G2 can find a pick on the side lanes. Caps does have to be careful, though. He is not favored in the side lane 1v1, as Daisy has been called out to start the objective here.
I mean, why wouldn't they? They know that they're stronger. They have the TP. They're going to invest it right now, and they're going to force this objective.
Adam on bot side spotted with no TP. This is their cue to kick things off. Sheo just a brand. It's going to be tough for him to get into this pit to stop this from happening. Mikyx going over the wall already, just trying to keep the jungler out of the equation. 2K getting lower and lower. They should just be able to take it, and they do. They lock it down. They deny it. Baron going over to the side of G2. BDS can get the follow-up fight. Broken Blade leaping in, footwork to keep Mikyx safe.
Credit to Sheo, he does flash into the pit. He tries to go for the steal, but he wasn't quite able to secure it. Now, BDS once again on the retreat.
Broken Blade stepping in, ulti back through, isolating Labrov off to the side, but has to be careful because Ice is in the area. Has he given his gold lead away? Unstoppable, he is. We'll find one, and now just going to try to waltz out to safety. Hansama coming around the corner as well. That's going to be the big flank. Meanwhile, on the top side of your fight, Nuke finding a quick pick onto Mickey. Broken Blade now in trouble. Adam kind of keeping the momentum in their favor. Caps TPing in. Or TPing out, excuse me, but the flank here just doesn't matter. Hansama now on a rampage. Nuke taken out. 2 members left standing. Spiraling Despair doesn't connect. Caps has to be careful here, though. Finally has the Ivern shielding, now can step forward a little bit more confidently. Severing Bolt, not going to have a slow, so not going to stop the steady escape here from the side of BDS. Yike chasing, though. Cloud Rift, not going to happen. BDS will retreat successfully.
Yeah, Hwei not the best when it comes towards a flank opportunity, even with Adam having no mana, still feeling comfortable to go forward, but Nuke got some solid plays on that top side of the fight, so making it a little bit more even. G2 will get the Dragon, they get the Baron, so still having a couple of members with that alive will help G2 in pushing forward, but a lot of time kind of wasted on their Baron buff in trying to get to BDS, so curious how much they'll actually get off this play now.
So we look back at the Baron. Let's see how close Sheo really was. The CC comes through for Mickey a little early because there's a window for him to flash in, but with the rend from the Kalista and the smite from Yike, they're able to lock down that Baron. And then G2, I would argue, get a little overzealous here, trying to force this fight. They really should just choose to reset. You can see Caps has gone up to top lane to push out that wave. Hansam has gone mid. The priority for those two is pushing these waves out before getting a reset. Meanwhile, the other 3 members of G2 are saying, let's test how much damage we can do. Broken Blade does end up getting a kill. Mikyx does lose his life, but in exchange, it's Hansama, that ends up getting the kill onto Nuke, and then Broken Blade ruins his perfect KDA.
But that's the thing, there was no damage that was there. Like, Hansama was pushing mid, Caps was pushing top, so Nuke was kind of just free to go, yeah, I'll take on the jungle support and the support, like, and you're not going to be able to kill me. So for G2, as you say, a little bit overzealous, and does help out a little bit, but still, Baron is up. They are still going to be able to get this bot tower off this push. Nuke does need to be careful, as Mikyx will start to wrap around, but it's just the map going to get smaller and smaller now for BDS as G2 continues.
Yeah, Kaz has to be careful about stepping too far forward here, but you can see with a Hwei and an Ivern, it's so hard to stop this siege from working. Endless wave clear coming in from the Molten Fisher, and now Labrov stepping just a little bit too far forward. Slow coming in from Mikyx's ultimate, Redemption going down as well. Broken Blade already isolating Nuke. G2 just want to go for the throat here, looking to end it quick. Nuke does him a favor and pushes him right back into the lane that they're looking to push. G2 ruthless.
Another 2 kills.
It's insane.
They're just playing with their food at this point. The first 2 games at least went plus 30 minutes. BDS at times showed signs of life, but it feels like that from start to finish, G2 have just had their foot on the pedal. The first inhibitor tower will fall. The inhibitor short to follow. I imagine they'll look to base here.
Root onto Adam, good CC, Counter-Strike for a brief moment, potential re-engage here now. Labrov doesn't have the angle to follow up. Broken Blade body blocking the potential hook. BDS stepping up, but they don't have enough in the tank.
It's just a bluff. Like, you don't even have any sort of like TP wards for Nuke to come in and look for. I mean, he doesn't even have to shuffle either. So it's like you're just kind of bluffing your way to say, yeah, get out of here. But Adam does need to be careful because, yeah, I was gonna say G2 could turn there, but not able to connect with the Q on the Ivern. But still, you know, you get BDS trying to push out waves to just delay as long as possible. But with 2 minutes on towards Baron, I think that's gonna be the next one for G2.
Just a reminder here that while we were talking about the Broken Blade KDA, that the real KDA king right now is Magic Johnson in the jungle there. 1-0 and 16, I mean, 24 stack Medjais.
He went deathless in the previous game as well. We haven't talked a huge amount about Yike because you could say that like he hasn't been like the flashiest of players,
he's
but
facilitator,
he's been doing an
series.
amazing job so far in this series. In game 2, his Lilia was monstrous. He was doing an insane amount of damage in every single one of the fights. And in this game, he's just been very much a facilitator. But it's been crazy to me that it feels like that every game we've seen a different version of G2. And to me, that's been one of the biggest discrepancies between BDS and G2, where BDS, they came in with their traditional style, they had their approach, and they stuck to that approach. It feels like in every game. In game 3, they tried to shape it up, whereas G2 showcasing a wide array of different approaches to the game with a bunch of different champions and different carries stepping up at different moments.
And this has been the criticism of BDS, is that they haven't had that opportunity to try and flex a bit or find new styles. And I feel like this is them attempting it with Sheo getting off of engage. He goes to the Brown, wants to be a damage dealer. Adam going for more of a side lane flip pusher in the Jax, but it just hasn't worked out. And when it's come to playing side lanes, playing the map, that's where G2 has thrived, and BDS have shown that they just can't really match that for a huge amount of this game. Or sorry, this series, I should say.
Certainly this series, G2 feels like the first team that has really tested BDS on that front. See if they can adapt in the series upcoming, or in this series, if they can bring this game back. They are on the edge here. They're not going to get eliminated, reminder. They have that extra life as they managed to 2-0 their way through the best of 3 portion of our playoffs. So we'll still be waiting for whoever wins the next best of 5 to see who can face G2 again in the finals, if they can close this out. But this could just be the final fight. Nice lock up on the Nuke. Immediate follow-up. CZ Nuke just barely able to flash out to safety. Has already set up a tower. A little bit of backline defense. Severing Bolt! What the heck? Broken Blade on the flank now as well. Ice is going to be in trouble. Waiting for the angle to try to ult him through. Q3 not going to connect. Has a bit more space, but it's just another QW from Hwei. The range is ridiculous. G2 looking for the victory lap close out here. One carry already done. Eyes on Caps. He's just fishing. And G2 might just be able to close it out, but they don't really have waves.
They're just running into BDS's base. Now the mid wave will arrive. Yike is going to tank up the tower for now. Nuke is the one with all of their gold, and he is not alive to defend them. The second inhibitor will fall. It feels like that this series is done and dusted.
again, it's BDS just cannot get the monkey that is G2 off their shoulder. Every single time they've beaten them the best of, and BDS just haven't been able to find it again today.
Labrov caught out, another severing bolt, taking so much life. Hansama gonna grab the kill. Ice now pulled back. Quick team fight for G2, making it look easy. QW, Caps on a rampage. Walking back in the fountain, not going to keep him safe either. Caps going in, Spiral and Despair, fishing for the full combo, manages to find the root as well. Immediately follows up, it's the perfect Hwei combo. Let him know, Caps. Mikyx, he did it. G2 have done it. BDS beaten out, a clean sweep for G2 Esports as they move on to the Winter Finals.
BDS, they eat all the QWs, but it's G2 who are gaining the Ws. What an incredible performance from this squad who, I mean, our criticism has been leveraged at them, but there's very little to criticize after a performance like that.
BDS are going to feel frustrated after that series. And they're going to have to, I mean, they will still have an opportunity. There is the chance for them to get that rematch versus G2. But your player of the series are on your screen, Broken Blade, Yike, and Caps. I feel like it's going to be Caps, but they all had a great series. G2
Definitely
looked fantastic today. And the rest of Europe is going to be looking at them and trying to figure out, how do we match that mid-game? How do we match that mid-game? Because the way that they are moving around the map, managing their waves, they feel like a fresh new G2.
And I think it's always going to be a tall task in the first split of a new year where G2 have kept a 5-man lineup and everyone else is rebuilding at least some bits and pieces. And you can see BDS, yes, only making really one change in the AD carry department. Able to also come out ahead in the mid-game against the vast majority of teams, but against G2, it is certainly too tall a task. Have to see how BDS fare in the lower side of the remaining playoffs bracket, who they will be facing up against as well. Of course, we have 2 more best-of-3s tomorrow to see who will be matching up in our next best-of-5.
I do think, though, coming back to G2, that it's great to see that kind of creativity coming back into their play, where it's like, look, we've got combos like the Zac Hwei, right? But you're getting to see, like, oh, we're going to flex K'Sante to mid, so we can open up a counter pick potentially in that top lane with the Yasuo into the Gnar matchup. Like, there feels like there's so much that G2 still have to show us, alongside already having a fantastic mid game that's difficult to beat.
When we think about last year, the most common trend that we saw domestically was Draven Kalista banned from Hansama. He wasn't allowed it. Now it feels like you have too much that you need to ban, and you've still got Hansama getting his Kalista every single game, right? And I feel like that is one of the most obvious evolutions, where in the fort it felt like they could only win largely through bots. Now they feel like they have more tools.
A lot of evolutions for G2. That's enough from us here at the desk. Let's send it down to the stage for an interview with Caps and Dylan Falco.
Thank you, Drakos. Congratulations for a swift best-of-5 win, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Dylan, I'm going to start with you, because you do a lot of the preparation, the braining behind everything. Was there anything concerning moving into that best-of-5 series versus BDS?
I think the most interesting thing for me is on this patch, there's a lot of room to innovate. There's a lot of wacky stuff like the brand jungle. We were playing Twisted Face top. So I just had to make sure the plans actually made sense, even as I get a bit crazier.
Well, Caps, you are one of the players that does make it crazier with a lot of the picks that you want to pull into the Rift. Was there anything in particular that you wanted to play today that maybe you didn't have the chance to?
I mean, definitely a lot of picks, but
okay.
probably Dylan wouldn't be happy if I said which. But I'm hoping BDS comes next week, and then we can maybe show them up.
Maybe a rematch again, another quick 3-0 Caps. Now, was there anything player-wise that was concerning or scary playing versus BDS for you?
I mean, definitely BDS was looking very strong, right? I think they have had a very good split so far. And I think the nice thing for us was that they're relying on a lot of the same things, and they're really good at it. But we kind of had a good idea of how to play against it, I guess.
Fair enough. Now, how would you rate the drafts? Is there anything unexpected that came from the side of BDS? Were you disappointed in any way that they didn't put everything they could into matching you guys?
I think it was mostly as expected, like the Orianna, Azir, and tanks. I guess Adam didn't get one of his champions today, so we obviously try and make that not happen, so maybe that's something to do with it, but maybe that was a bit surprising.
Absolutely. And Caps, are you an enjoyer of any other league in particular around the world?
Any other league? I mean, I always love LPL, okay, right? I think they're obviously the strongest regions, and I really want to beat them, so definitely my eyes on them.
Do you draw an inspiration from them, and if so, what is that?
I mean, there's a lot of inspiration. Of course, we watch a lot of their VODs, and even sometimes we watch it together, right? Try and figure out what they do that makes them so strong. And I think we have definitely gotten some good ideas. And with a bit of innovation there, and some cheese picks, maybe we can get even stronger.
Every time he talks about picks and innovation, I see your cheeky smile, dealing like, oh God, what's going to come my way this time? Who would you say, if you have to choose, played the best today in your team and deserves to get Kia Player of the Series?
I think Caps has a habit of winning the MVP this split, so...
Okay, you have to be unbiased.
Unbiased?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not sure. I don't know. The Cassante running behind the turrets, I think, was a bit sus.
Killed him.
I think I'll go with Yike because he had the Lilia game and the really good Ivern game. But I have a suspicion Caps will win the MVP.
Oh, so he puts your second choice, but Yike first. What would be your choice? Unbiased. You can choose yourself.
Unbiased, probably would be Caps, I think.
Wow.
What did Caps did so well? Can you please explain to me what Caps did so well to deserve it?
I think, taking the Cassante, being a team player like that, of course. Some good paintings in the last game as well. There was no Yuumi, sadly. I think they could have gone for the Yuumi, right? That would have been a nice drawing I could have made there, but it was nice nonetheless.
Was it really being a team player picking the Cassante for yourself, Caps? Because you did get Kia Player of the Series. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Now, real quickly, I have a question that you both can be included here. I want you to tell me a little bit about Yike's development, because we saw him as a rookie. We saw him how he developed through the year in G2, and now we see him yet another year. In this particular series, he picked 3 completely different champions, and he shined on all 3. How has it been behind the scenes working with him for you?
Actually, working with Yike has always been a pleasure. I don't consider him a rookie since maybe MSI. He's gotten so much experience on stage and best of 5s, internationally even. And I think the main thing is just his versatility. He's so strong on the carry picks as well as the engaged champions, and I think that's what we saw today. Especially when Caps is willing to enable him with some of his champions like the Cassante, which I really appreciate.
Talking about enabling him, Caps, how's your synergy with him?
I mean, I think he's just really insane, right? I mean, even from the first game, I remember on stage, maybe he was a bit nervous, but then I think he just played Graves and went like 8-0. And I think he had like 27 kills the first week. So obviously from there, he has also improved a lot, and I think he is really insane right now. So hopefully we can show it together next week.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for the interview. Congrats on making it to the finals as well for the Winter Split. We're going to throw it over to Lauren Guldborg for PGL. They're standing by with no one else other than Yike.